Hello there folks, I'm at RAF Snaith. This is home of, or was home of 51 Squadron, and this is where the story begins of the recovered Halifax parts. Hr936 was a Mark II Halifax, powered by the Rolls-Royce Merlin engines, and was new to the crew that I'm about to introduce you to. They're named in this memorial garden, so let's take a look. Those two were original hangars. Those are original buildings just there. And that's the J-type hangar. All those were original, as are some of the buildings there. I can't go on there, it's kind of private property, but I can show you the memorial garden. Hard to believe there's an airfield here. Here we have the memorial garden. It's quite possible this was actually where the operations block was housed, or the entrance block. We also have a propeller and a map of the airfield. At the moment, that's where we are. That's the big hangar, just there. And that's the other two. The unknown Halifax. I don't know if you can see that clearly. Let's have a better look at it. Right, crew members. Hr936 had to be ditched. It was a case of sabotage. And sabotage was a bit of an issue at this airfield. The bomb dump, which was over in that direction, mysteriously blew up. One of the Halifaxes, taking off from this airfield for an air test after being serviced, blew up as it took off, killing all the people on board. And the crew of Hr936 also experienced sabotage. One time the altimeter was found not to be working. It was full of sand. David J. White, flight engineer, sadly passed away in June 1988. We also have Jim Nicholson, who was navigator. He passed away in 2009. We also have George Lloyd, bomb aimer. He died in Canada in 1985. Well, I've looked and I've looked, but we can't find the pilot's plaque, which I'm sure they were all here. But the pilot was John Cribb. We also had Dennis Samuels as the wireless operator, Peter Gosling and Johnny Wright were air gunners. We're actually on the airfield now. sort of take a short walk up to get a better view of the hangar. Let's take a look. Sorry about the wind, guys. So the airfield stretched all the way across there. Runways now have got solar panels and straw bales and all sorts of things on them. You can see the hangar there, there's the two behind it, and that would have been the technical side of the airfield. And this is where Halifax HR936 took off on the 23rd of August 1943. The raid was to Berlin. Welcome to the project room. Shut that. So here she is, this is Jane. These are the recovered parts of Handley Halifax HR936 MH-J, J for Jane. This is the basket. As you can see, is a basket that came back from Holland. What I shall do is we'll get these parts out and we'll lay them out. Most of these parts, let's are from one area of the Halifax, mainly part of an engine, and I'll be honest guys, I am really annoyed because these things are covered in dog hair and look at this. The only thing in this basket when I last saw it was Jane, and now we have got, I mean look at this, what the, I know these are actually parts of a World War II building, but do they really need to be mixed in with this? This is a complete lack of respect. Look at it. These are true golden gems. So what we shall do, now some of you might recognise what this is. This is out of the carburettor. Basically the throttle butterflies and throttle shaft. As you can see, it's a bit bent. But this was for one engine that let the air fuel mixture into the engine. All 27 litres of Rolls-Royce Merlin. This itself was actually mounted above the starter motor, and this you could rotate, basically rotate the engine. So if you was aircrew, oh, that'll be my friend Kim. If you was ground crew working on the vehicle, on the engine, say adjusting the tappets, etc., you would use this to rotate the engine. The hand crank went on there, and you could rotate it. I think that is actually a part of the carburettor. Brake dust, honestly. Now, what I'm going to do is actually try and identify the parts and put them together in what they came from. For example, obviously that's carburettor, that's carburettor. That looks like an engine casting. Was it one of the mounts? These will be cooling pipes or oil pipes. Some of these will be identifiable. Some may have part numbers. Some we can find reference photographs just to actually identify them. Obviously, look at the dog hairs. Pieces like this will be hard to identify. This is disgusting. I always let it get like this. There's actually still paint on this. Rivet holes. Would you guys be interested in seeing a clean-up of these parts? They are going to be on display, but obviously they need putting into some kind of order and some kind of identification. Now this is easy to identify. This, folks, is actually a starter motor for a Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. This would have actually fitted upwards in that position, and I do believe above it was this part fitted this way. Lots of small parts, folks. Now that's a bracket that could be identified, maybe. You any ideas? Do we know what this was? If you recognise anything, folks, please put a comment. Leave a comment, tell me what you think. I mean, some things are quite obvious. There were either water pipes for the cooling system, but then this. Now, I'm pretty sure that's a dog chute and not part of a Halifax bomber. So to the person who actually had this, he was meant to make a display cabinet. And all he's done is fill it with dog hair and fluff and dog chews. Pisses me off. Lots of small parts coming out. What was that? I would say some of these are carburettor parts. In fact, oh, that joins on there. And what's this? You guys know? Please let me know in the comments. So there we have it, folks. The recovered remains of Handley Halifax Hr936 MHJ of 51 Squadron, which were based at RAF Snaith. Real golden gems, folks. This is what remains of Handley Halifax Hr936 MHJ of 51 Squadron, also known as Jane. In fact, the crew actually named it Jane, and they wrote the cartoonist who at the time did some cartoon series with a woman called Jane in it, and he actually did them a painting of this cartoon character Jane, which they put on the aircraft, and apparently was the envy of the squadron. Just a little bit of history there, folks. Anyway, thanks for watching and liking, subscribing. Let's try and make this channel grow. You'll have to excuse my voice. I seem to be suffering with a wonky voice for some reason. And if you'd like to see what happens to these parts, because obviously they need cleaning up, identifying, chuck a comment in the below me, and that's it for now.